very important and interesting topic. We all know about NGO, but how to start, how to maintain an NGO? Today we have three dynamic speakers with us, joining us from various places of India, and we have many delegates joining nationally and internationally. This program is being live in YouTube channel of Independent Research Ethics Society. So I welcome one and all once again, and without taking more time, let me welcome our first speaker of the day. We have Dr. Mohsin Dehlvi sir with us. Sir is President of World Unani Foundation, Managing Director in Dehlvi Remedies Pvt Ltd, General Secretary UDMA Delhi. Welcome sir, the dais is yours. Please bless us with your
Thank you very much, Dr. Thakkar and Pawan Sharma ji. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. So I congratulate you all for the 289th webinar and definitely looking forward for the 1000th one. It'll be a great, I think, celebration when the 1000th webinar is complete. Well, let me just start with my presentation. I would like to share a screen. Let's see. I'm not very net savvy, so it'll just take me a minute to how to share a screen.
Down share screen is there.
Yes, but I can't see the file. It's on my desktop.
No problem. Share screen one, then you can search the file. First you share.
Okay, I'm sharing it.
Screen.
Then I search for it, but it's not showing my... I go to screen share and then show. It's on my desktop.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
It is visible. Yes,
Sir, you can make the full screen.
Yeah.
And please continue. Yes, sir.
Great. How to plan an NGO. That's the main topic of today's webinar. Anyone of any age can start an organization. It's a charitable organization with specific goals. Establishing an NGO is a long process, and one has to have patience. I mean, you just cannot say that we want to solve all the problems of the world right away. In fact, you have to focus your energies on powerful and effective services that will make a difference to people's lives. These entities work towards the general betterment of the society and function as small units which fill the gaps at places where government can't reach effectively and business cannot be done with meaningful returns. To start with, what is how do we plan a non-profit organization or an NGO in India? They are independent of the state. It has nothing to do with the government. They are self-governed by a board of trustees, governing councils, or group of individuals. Main objective is towards betterment of the society and well-being of the community at large. Profit generation is not their principal goal. I mean, it is not the goal at all. I mean, you cannot make profits from an NGO. In fact, you have to spend money from your pocket. They impact education, arts, poverty, medicine, environment, and other areas that are not sustainable through a for-profit business module. Exist as a trust, society, or a Section 8 company. Steps to be followed. First and foremost, we have to be clear in our mind what we want to buy and why we want to form an NGO. What will be the mission and goals? The options are endless, from poverty to hunger, education, of a particular cause. Like we formed an NGO by the name of World Unani Foundation. Main purpose is to promote Unani throughout the world. Another NGO that we have is Unani Drugs Manufacturers Association. The motive of that is to get all the manufacturers together in one platform. So these are the different, aims that one has to be sure what and why is he wants to make an NGO. Secondly, it should be in back of minds that it will be a non-profitable organization. In fact, it will have to be funded by you as well. You should be clear in your mind about the people who can join you in this non-profitable venture and ready to serve the people without any monetary benefits. Most of them should be donating their time in support of your cause. Set about creating a clear organizational structure that incorporates all of the different elements of your NGO. There should be clear lines of control and responsibility, as well as brief job specification for each that detail precise responsibilities and expectations. You need to make sure that you control your NGO, understand all of its constituent parts, and guide these separate elements down a single path. I mean, you should be clear in your mind of what you want from this NGO. Thirdly, funding has to be planned. We should make a list of the potential donors, whether individuals, private, charitable organizations, or grants from government organizations that give funds to NGOs. It has to be an ongoing concern for almost all charitable organizations to deliver their services effectively and continuously. We should study how similar NGOs working near you, your areas, city funds, raise funds, your area and city raise funds. Just give me a minute. Legalities of an NGO. Most charitable organizations need to be established in such a way that they are able to receive donations, whether from government, individuals, or foreign sources. For this, they have to register with the various departments of that country. Every country is different and will have a different requirement for organization wishing to register as an NGO. NGOs in India can be registered as a trust, a society, or a Section 8 company. First and foremost is hire a good lawyer who will draft all the legal papers that are needed and will go for the registration process. As part of the registration process, most countries will require an article of association document or trust deed, which will detail the organization's legal structure. The article of association or trust deed must have the following: name of the NGO, purpose of the NGO, location where it is located, name of all the NGO members and all founder trustees as they are called, details on legal liability, and the funding details of the NGO and bylaws. You should ensure that your original vision of your NGO is captured in this document, as it may well survive longer than your own life. Even after you have gone, the guiding principles of your NGO will live on and continue to guide its progress for decades to come. Your guiding principles will also aid you in resolving disputes or conflicts about which direction your organization should head in. Basically, it's if somebody forms an NGO, the main purpose is that even after you've gone, that it should continue what you had thought of, So the framing the bylaws is very important, so that even after you, it goes on without any disputes. Main guiding principles of the NGO must include the purpose of forming the NGO, mission and vision, the registered office, definition of beneficiaries, board size, responsibility and structure, officer duties and responsibilities. Once the NGO is registered, host the first official board meeting where you can approve your organization's guiding principles, acknowledge the organization's formal registration as an NGO, and start to lay out a timetable of action for getting your NGO up and running. You have to form the first meeting that you have after forming the NGO is to decide who's going to handle what, the chief executive officer, chairman, secretary, joint secretary, finance person who's going to in charge. So all these are very important once the first meeting is held, so that the clear instructions are given that who will handle what. And the main thing is to note down the minutes of the meeting and circulate that in the members so they know what they had decided and what they are supposed to do. The best way of making yourself known and accessible, not just locally, but from anywhere in the world, is to create a simple website. Most of the NGOs, unfortunately, don't have a website here, but that is very important because whatever today, everybody is net savvy. And the first thing that comes is to search what the NGO is doing. So they go to the website. And so that's very important to have a website of the NGO. By launching a simple website, you can quickly and easily spread the word locally, attract volunteers and donors, and provide information to potential beneficiaries who you hope to support. You can use social media such as Facebook, Twitter, etc. What are the benefits of registering an NGO in India? There are several benefits for an NGO once you are formally registered. An NGO gets the recognition of a separate legal entity. It gives legitimacy and credibility of the organization. Registration of NGO is a step towards applying for 12AA with Income Tax Department. NGO registration also gives the leverage of tax exemption and is important for application for 80G and Fcra. I'll explain what Fcra is. Registering an NGO gives you a credibility to approach prospective donors or institutions. It differentiates your NGO from the others. As an NGO, you also establish transparency and accountability. The government also gives land at a lesser rate. If you require land, then it gives it at a cheaper rate. You have to bring the right to bring expertise from outside to attach to your entity. You can collaborate with different stakeholders. Many NGOs feel that they are immune to all forms of taxation as they exist as a not-for-profit entity. This, however, is only a myth. Below are the important sections that offer tax exemptions to an NGO and also tax deduction to donors. You have to get yourself registered with income tax. These are the sections where you can get yourself registered. That's section 11 and 12 of the Income Tax Act 1961, which is basically for income for religious and charitable trusts. Then section 12AA, again, it's a one-time registration. You have to register under this. Section 80G, that's the most important. We've heard that most of the NGOs do get 80G, where 50% of the taxable income of the donation is exempt from tax. Basically, the person who is even donating on that 80G gets an exemption. If the NGO has this 80G certificate, the donor will also get tax benefit. So this is a very important registration that we have to, every NGO has to get done. It's a one-time registration and can be done using form 8010G, and it has to be made to the Income Tax Department. This is how I briefly explained it. That ATG tax exemption eligibility for an NGO, segregated entries for business and donation transactions. If not adhered, ATG certificate may be rejected. Then this is proper accounting. We have to have a very clear-cut accounting thing, and they have to be very clean, the books. No misuse of the donations. Obviously, with the purpose and sense of purpose that you've made this NGO. So obviously, you should be sure that the funds that are generated should not be misused at all. And no religious activities allowed. Documents which are required for registration under 12A and ATG is duly filled in Form 10A for registration. Like I said, it's very important to hire a good lawyer who will help you in filing all these documents. If you are on a rented premises, then you'll have a NOC from landlord. Your copy of PAN card of the NGO has to be attached. Electric bill, house tax receipt, water bill. Then evidence of welfare activities carried out and progress reports since inception or last 3 years. Books of accounts, balance sheets, income tax returns since inception or last 3 years. List of major donors along with their addresses and PAN. List of governing body or board of trustees, members with their contact details, original registration and memorandum of association or trust deed, whatever. These are different, again, section 35 AC, where this again you have to apply to the income tax department. Then FCRA. This is very important if you want foreign contribution. When I formed this NGO, I also was not sure about this FCRA registration, and somebody sent me 100 euros, but that got stuck up with the RBI till date because we did not have an FCRA registration. So if you want funding from other countries, then this registration is required, and it is given by Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. So these are again documents required for the FCRA registration: audited balance sheet for the last 3 years, certified copy of formation documents like the trust deed, rules and regulations, etc. Details of the activities of the organization during the last 3 years, registration details under section 11 and 12, and ATG. So all these again are the same document that we required for the other ATG. You must have noticed that to apply for all of the above, 3 years balance sheet is a must. That means the first 3 years are very crucial for any NGO to survive, because you will not get any funding. Whatever funding is received by an NGO is only after 3 years. Well, normally people see that if what you've done in 3 years, so only then the government will give you grant, or even any donor will give you. So the first 3 years are very crucial. You have to survive those first 3 years from your own pocket and generate funds, whatever, through various donation drives, etc. Thank you very much. I hope I was able to explain what the benefits of an NGO are. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your excellent presentation. Yes, Dr. Sharma, sir.
Excellent, excellent, sir, excellent. You have elaborated every aspect of the NGO, really great.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Mohsin. Shukriya. Jayesh ji.
Thank you, Dr. Mohsin, sir, for your excellent presentation. Moving to our next presenter of our day, we have Dr. Reeta Bhattacharya, Madam, with us. Madam is National Secretary of SHAKTI. She is National Project Member, Bharat, and she is from Kolkata. Let me take the pleasure to welcome our dynamic speaker, Dr. Reeta, ma'am. Madam, you're welcome. The dais is yours.
Namaskar. Welcome to all. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Namaste, madam. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, madam, you're audible.
Thank
Please
you.
continue. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Pawan Kr Sharma, for inviting me in this August gathering. And I'm really congratulate you because you are doing non-stop webinar, and I know how difficult to do this 289th webinar at a stretch, because we are also doing, after doing 7 days or 10 days, we become very tired, but you are not. That is a really hats up. That is God's blessing and God's grace. And thank you, Dr. Mohsin sir, because how you said, and first you said, that is why I thank you, because you reduced my lecture and reduced my talk, because whatever you said, and this is no need to repeat those things. So thank you very much to reduce my work. Thank you so much. And, now, thanks to Jayesh, because you are announcing the name and you asked me to tell. Thank you. And thank all the members, all the dignitaries, and all the doctors, and all the august person, and very, very prominent person. Though I don't know personally, but I know all of you are very big person, very important person. So pranam to you, namaskar to you. Now let me start. Let me start with a prayer, because now Corona time is going on. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let all being happy and healthy. This is our earnest prayer. Starting an NGO requires more than just money. If any young person is thinking that he or she will not do the job, not do the business, he or she will do the NGO. So it will be very, just a minute, a very important phone call came. Just a minute. Pranam Maharaj. Thank you. So that is the very big caution for them, because when a person is starting an NGO, NGO means non-government organization, he or she should have some intention, honest intention, to do the service to the mankind or any living being or to the society, to give service. So it requires hard work, determination, genuine desire, and honesty. These 4 things are very much needed for a person or a group of person who wants to open an NGO. To start and run an NGO is an almost similar process to start a company or run a company. So when a person is running a company, so how difficult it is, that person knows very well. So to start an NGO is like that. To start an NGO, the person should have the courage to face the brute and have that honesty, and have to have that clarity Because when we are opening an NGO, we are taking everybody's money, sometimes public money, sometimes government money, sometimes some organizations' money. So when we are taking others' money, we have to be very careful. This is my first caution to start one NGO. But there are, if you have to keep the transparency in your work, in your monetary matter, in your thought process, then definitely you can start an NGO. Moreover, here you have to work for the welfare of the society without expecting any profit. Again, I am repeating, without expecting any profit. Okay, if you have determined that, yes, I passed all these points, so definitely you can start your NGO. And there are so many persons who are not that lucky what some of we are. So they have to run their NGO for their livelihood. And that point I will discuss later. But even then, they are running their livelihood, they are running their family with the NGO, even then they have to be very honest, very careful, and they have to vigilance on their own self. That is very important. And so definitely, if you think you will start one NGO, then you have to do some, before thinking the starting the NGO or registering the NGO, you have to think something. But I'm giving some food for thought. What sir said in general, what sir didn't say, I want to fill those gaps only. First, change. You want to see what type of change you want to see in coming 10 years. Maybe you want to, please mute yourself.
Yes, ma'am, continue.
Sorry
for interrupting.
No, thank you. Being a teacher, I always...
Madam, please unmute yourself.
हाँ बस मुँह से कथा कहूँ जी
Being a teacher, I used to tell my students two things in a class or in a webinar or in a seminar. At a time, one person should speak. And there are some students, there are some person who doesn't want to listen. They can leave the seminar, the webinar, the class. We don't mind. But my humble request to you all, some are listening, some are interested, and some are doing this webinar with their valuable time, energy, everything. Try to honor that. Who is not honoring that, I will request Jayesh ji or Pawan Sharma ji, please just delete their name. I am ruthless sometimes like that. Just they should leave. Because when people are telling, this type of disturbance is giving very pain. I'm so sorry to say. Anyway, what I was telling, I even forgot that. Anyway, what I'm telling, one person, when that person is thinking, not one person, a group of persons, when they thought they will open a NGO, what is the group? That group should be very like-minded group, mentally, socially, economically. Otherwise, that NGO will face so much of problem. And when they thought they have to think within that next 10 years, what change they want to see, whatever area they want to work. If they want to work in environment, after 10 years, what type of environment they want to see. If they want to work with women empowerment, after 10 years, what type of empowerment they want to see. If they want to work for in general health, that is also the same. After 10 years, what they want to see in this country or in his or her society or their society, that have to think. Then impact you are going to make on society. So what impact you are giving to them? You are going to start one society. So what type of impact you are going to? Sir already said the NGO. I just start one thing. Okay, later I'll tell. NGO means non-government organization. So there you can start 3 types of registration. That portion I just forgot whether sir said or not. So I'll just touch that point later on. Then another thing, you all have to think the long-term sustainability. So you have to think, today we are going to someone giving us the money, we are going to start one NGO, and after that we don't know what to do. The money is finished, our NGO is finished, not that. So you have to think of the sustainability. Then you have to think of your organizational value. When you are making one organization, that should be a very important thing, and you have to think of that organizational value too. So when you are going to start your organization, 3 things you have to think: mission, vision, and your aim, what you want to do. So your mission, your upcoming 5 years plan to accomplish. Okay. Then fund and resource management to sustain for at least 2 years at the beginning. So if you think for 3 years, that would be better, but at least 2 years. If you work 2 years very nicely, people will come and people will give you money. Maybe your relative, maybe your friend, maybe your neighbor. I always say that you work, money will come. If nobody will give, God will give you money. For money, no work will stop. But your sincerity should be there. Your honesty should be there. How are you planning to reach out to maximum beneficiary? Now you're doing NGO, means some beneficiaries are there. What field you are doing? If you want to establish one library, okay, you can do. Who will come and read in that library? So you have to think about that. And you have to think that maximum number of readers should get the access from your library to get very, very much benefit from your library. So you have to do the long-term plan for resources and sustainability. And then promoting your NGO. You have to promote how people will know your NGO. Sir already said that. So you can use multiple resources of your NGOs. So you have to promote. Otherwise, people can't know how you are doing this and what work you are doing. So if you will not promote, you will not get money even. So you could use some to promote your organization. You just tell one of your members, you take the church to promote your organization. The basic one is to have your own website. That is must nowadays. If you want to do your start an NGO, that is compulsory. You have to have your own website. So through website, you can promote your NGO. And there are multiple way to promote your NGO. You can tweet every day. You can go to Facebook. You can make one Facebook page. You can go what type of NGO, it depends upon, even LinkedIn. There are so many apps. You can go and tell about your NGO. So people will know. And when you will start your NGO, so there are some rules and regulations. Before starting NGO, one thing, sir already said that you have to register. So, and that NGO registration should be in their state. If I'm Maharashtrian, I have to register in Maharashtra. If I'm Keralian, I have to register in Kerala. I am Bengali, I'm staying in West Bengal, then I have to register in West Bengal Society. That is mandatory. I am staying in Kolkata, all our members are in Kolkata. I can't register in Uttar Pradesh. I can't. So I have to register in Kolkata because our members are in Kolkata. Their voters ID, their Aadhaar card, everything, address is in Kolkata. And what first they have to do? Minimum 7 like-minded person. They have to give their ID proof, address proof, and Aadhaar card, their voters card, or telephone bill in their name, or electric bill in their name, and the PAN card. This is must. And what they have to give? A passport size photograph that they have to give. Then before starting the NGO, some you have to do. What you have to do? You have to do, think a name of the NGO. What type of name? The name should be, through that name, people can understand what type of NGO is this. Like Sir said, World Unani Foundation, this is his NGO. So naturally, after listening that, we can understand Sir is doing the work with Unani medicines. Our NGO is Kolkata Nivedita Shakti. Shakti means, we know, the Shakti means strength, and all the goddesses who are having Shakti, those are goddesses, like Kali Mata, like Durga Mata. So when the name is Shakti, means people can understand this is an organization run by ladies. And the Kolkata. Kolkata means that time they said you have to give the name of the place. So registration part, the people, they put the Kolkata. It was not our suggestion. Kolkata means it is in Kolkata, but our working zone is entire West Bengal. And number 3, Nivedita. Nivedita, it means 2. One is dedication. So literary meaning of Nivedita is dedication. So some dedicated ladies are working in Kolkata. And another meaning, that is proper noun, Nivedita, is Swami Vivekananda's disciple, Manas Kanya. So she came to India and she became Indian more than what we are. She understood our culture, our science, our literature more than what we know. That means that Kolkata Nivedita Shakti is working for women, by women, with the culture, with the science, and with our Indian tradition. So the name itself is telling what organization is this. So when you are thinking of the organization, the name should be like that. I am associated with another organization. The name of that organization is Bharat Vikas Parisad. That means that is also all India basis organization, and that is also started in 1963. So that is also telling that Bharat, we know, Vikas, we have to do what our government can't do, because so much of our population, and this Parishad means Goshti, means a group of persons, they are doing Vikas for Bharat, for Bharatiyas. Okay, so the name itself is telling what organization is this. So first you have to think of the name, and then you have to do two things. Sir said, I will not discuss on that. Sir said that memorandum of association and rules and regulations, bylaws, that you have to do. These two things is very important. You have to think of that. So according your NGO, according your thought, according your work action plan, you have to make that. And one thing sir said, that you have to appoint a good person, content writer or any who is doing this. Here, sir, I beg to differ. If you do it by yourself or your group, it will be the best, because whosoever is the expert can't transfer your language into the action. Whatever you say to him or her, thoda kam hi reh jayega. If you can make it, there are so much examples in website, and you can get one book. Pehle when it was in two dimension, uska niche hi milte the. So now it is our West Bengal, this registration office is in Salt Lake. That address also I will say. So now everything is ready. From 2017, if I'm not wrong, 1st December, government has decided that you have to register your NGO online. So you have to register through online. Previously, when we did, we used to go there, we have to submit the hard copy and this and that. But now government, so many rules has come, and government wants that transparency. So we have to go CBT e-district if you are in Kolkata. So the website is edistrict.wb.gov.in. There you have to register. Okay. And if you are not in Kolkata, you are in suburb. So there the court or the district magistrate, they will take care of that registration. And now I just want to tell you registration. Now the registration is very easy. So if you have collected all these things, this is ready, all the MOA and the society regulation, bylaw, everything is ready. Now you have to give more things. Where is your registration office? For that registration office, you have to, if you take rent, you have to give rent agreement. If the society is a rented property, if not, if like our Kolkata Nivedita Shakti is in my in-laws house, so I have to take one written permission, no objection letter from my father-in-law that they are going to start one NGO in this address in my premises. I do not have any objection. That you have to give. Otherwise, your registration will be nullified. Okay. And after that, registration fee is 150 rupees if you will do it personally. And if you go for any expert or who is doing that, they are taking according to your pocket. So sometimes they are taking 2,000 to 5,000 to 10,000. That is depend on those person. There is no fixed. This is the thing. Our registration office, it was our means Kolkata's, it was in two dimension, but now it shifted to Salt Lake. And this is very near to Karunamui bus terminus and Karunamui station of East-West Metro. The complex is very good and the behavior of the register and his staff are very, very nice. If you have courage to go there, they will guide you. They will tell, do this, don't do that, if you are not going through the agent. And previously, I told you that when it was in two dimension, I have that experience. It was horrible. 10% will come to you and tell, ma'am, why you are standing there? No, give it to me. I'll take less money. You give me, I'll do everything for you. So be careful and think twice. And that is in J, I noted that I am not searching, but not getting that. It is GJ10 like this. It is near Karunamui. I know because I went there, but the address was GJ10 like this in Salt Lake. And another thing what I want to tell that 3 types of registrations are there. One is society. The second is Indian Trust Act. In charitable trust, at least 2 persons are required. There is no limit of maximum members. And I will tell the difference between trust and society. If your NGO is registered under Society Act, then you have to renew every year your society and with your expense accounts. Okay, but if the NGO is registered under Indian Trust Act, so there is no need to renew that. If you wish to dismiss it, again you have to go to the court and you have to dismiss that. So only you have to give your annual accounts. and that is audited account. You have to give your income tax return. If zero return, even then, zero money, even then you have to give the return. Another one is Companies Act. A non-profit company can be registered under Section 8 of the Companies Act with the Register of Companies. That is the third type of. These three are called NGO because they are going to help government or bridge the gap government or helping people what government can't able to do, because government is also have limitations. So they can do their work for the society, for the benefit of the nation. This much. And after the society registration, so there are what's are already said, there are many things. You have to have the meeting regular, you have to keep the minutes of the meeting, you have to circulate that, and after registration, every month or within 2 months, one meeting, general meeting, and you have to make the EC group or GB group. And what you will make everything, your bylaw and rules and regulation, you have to mention that. If your bylaw, in your bylaw is, you are telling that you will form a GB, so your GB meeting. And if you write that it is EC, then it is EC meeting. That should be there, and general meeting should be there. Apart from these two meetings, there is another meeting, AGM, annual general meeting. Apart from that, there is one, any special meeting. So these 4 types of meetings are there. And for NGO, this is the formation of NGO. So formation of NGO is this much. After formation, there are so many do's, don'ts, prepare yourself, prepare others, and the distribution of work. There are so many things. We can have another this type of webinar if Dr. Pawan Sharma ji wants. So then the role of NGO people and the Karyakarta Nirman, how to make the volunteers or leaders, how to lead the NGO, that will be the another very big topic. So it is for starting the NGO, how to start a NGO. I think this is enough. I just start enjoying my what somebody is doing. Oh, anyway, so this is the thing I said. And if you have any question, you can ask to sir and you can ask to me. Thank you. Thank you for your patience hearing. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, madam, for your excellent, great presentation, not deliberation. Really, you have covered every point practically. You are maintaining, you are developing, and you are successfully running Nivedita Shakti. Thank you, madam. Dr. Jayesh ji. Dr. Jayesh Thakkar ji.
Yes, sir. Thank you, madam, for your excellent and complete presentation. It was really a nice learning session to know about your good works. Now, let me take the pleasure to welcome our third speaker of our day, Dr. N.P. Singh, sir. Sir, can you listen to us?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me welcome Dr. N.P. Singh, sir. Dr. Narendra Prasad Singh. Sir is director of Parvati Vidyapeeth. Sir is in Syllabus Committee member of WBCYN, President of IYNDA, GS ABPCP. Sir is an yoga expert, so let me take the pleasure to welcome Sir for his presentation. Sir, you're welcome. The desk is yours.
Thanks a lot. Okay, thanks a lot. Actually, at present, I'm in the Indira Gandhi International Airport, Delhi, waiting for the boarding. So I'll summarize within short time. And first, I'll thankful to Dr. Pawan Kr Sharma ji for inviting me or instructing me, because his any instruction I used to follow. That's why I'm attending and ready already agreed to put my point, whatever. But lots of things has been mentioned by all the previous speakers, especially Dr. Dehlvi ji. He has put all the points categorically to the point, the step-wise step, and Madam also find out. So I'll go for the practical point and not repeating the point what both the speakers have told, because so number one, I always used to say the person whoever thinks to go for the organizing or establishing NGO, I used to say, don't think I'm going to work for the 1 year or 3 years or 10 years. My first questions and humble suggestion is whether you think you are going to make anything immortal or not. Number one. If you think that your inner self says that you are ready to go something immortal. Next question is, what will be the immortal? Whether your name, the name of your organization, or the motto or the object for which you are going to establish the NGO. Number second, we used to say the word in Hindi, sarkari, gair sarkari, or asarkari. So we used to say the person are gair sarkari or asarkari but asarkari. We are not governmental organization, but we are the influential or effective asarkari. So used to say that is the most important. So first, if you think that obviously you are ready to establish one organization for the specific motto, specific cause, first find out what is your cause, what is your project. Don't go for the like, madam is doing such work, so we get the more and more funds, so I'll go for this. Even I am working for the last 25 years with the NGO, and till date, I never applied for a single fund for the government. Number one, and I'm surviving, and we're doing well. So whether if you go, I always used to say, if you think that you are going for the applying or getting the fund, first you think you are liable to the fund, that fund. So whether you are competent enough to do the justice with that fund or not. Not only on the paper, just you have taken the money and you have give the clearance, I have expended this and this. So that is the simple thing. For that, you need expertise staff, expertise team, what the Dr. Dehlvi has told. Second things, one I always use, just as Dr. Dehlvi told, you need some expert support or expert people who can guide you in which way you can proceed for the registration. But I used to say, whenever you go, whether the Society Act or the Trust Act or the Company Act, under which you are going to register your NGO, the first exactly study properly that act. Whether the Society Act, some state has following 1860, some state following 1961. Again, the Trust Act. So if you go exactly the point and clarification from the act, otherwise what happens, what we have faced, or we have faced some problem, like you work as per your bylaws to what you have written, but someone claims that you are working on your bylaws, but your bylaws somewhere violating the act of the 1961, or if you go for the Trust Act 1862, something, whenever you go for the registration, under which act you are going to register your NGO, first you understand each and every point of that act. Then it will be the easy. Otherwise, for each and every act or each and every work, you have to rush for any lawyer or advocate to just guide whether such work I can do or not. Only your bylaws will not help. bylaws will help you what you are thinking to do, but that act will be in which way implemented, that will guided by the act under which your NGO has been registered. So who are going to start the NGO, they must go for that. And one thing Madam says, so one thing make us clarify. If you go for the trust act, the person who belongs to other state can also be the member. That will be not in the society act if the stated, but if you go in the trust act, you can be the member of, whether you belong to West Bengal and any trust is going on in other states, so you can be the member of that trust or be the trustee of in that case, but not in the society act. If you go for the society act, then you have to go for the national NCT registration in the Delhi for the society act. So this is a simple clarification. Anyone who wants to organize, okay. And next thing, first properly make a team who strictly stick to your motto. Otherwise, after 6 months or 1 year, there will lot of differences will become. So this needs more maturity, more cooperation, more coordination. So first, bring a team properly, then put out your strategy, your planning, and already both the speakers said, yes, you have to find out your resource. Don't think from where I'll get the fund, then I'll start. And if I'll get the fund, then I'll start this work. If I get the fund, accordingly, I'll do the work. First, your work, your project will be finalized by you, whether I'm sticking to this work. Anyone comes to help, then we'll proceed or we'll help. So first, identify your motto, your strategy, your resource, your team, and then your external or internal strength and weakness. Whenever we are going for the work, obviously political situation also influence, not hamper. What policy is going out by the political system, and that policy in which way influence your project or your work. So be careful about that, what you are going to work and what the policy is shifting or changing by the government level, political level. Obviously, we have the lots of social custom, social situation is very important. Whenever you go for the working in the field, the practical problem will arise in the lots of things. So better you have to be aware. So this situation, what will be your weaknesses during delivering your project or your making this project convert it into reality. So what the problem you are facing, and that problem whether you are able to overcome or not. If you're not overcome, then find out your weakness, in which way you can overcome your weakness, and then during this process, what is your opportunity, in which way your whatever the resources, whatever the threat, under which situation, what opportunity you have, and in which way you can convert or make your work in that way. So in short, I'll making this point because within few minutes, already voting has been started. So thank you all for inviting me and sharing the view, and obviously listening to the to one of the best or the expertise person on this subject. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Narendra. Thank you. Thank you for your zeal and passion that you are agreed on the airport also. Great. Salutable. I salute all the speakers today. And I would like to welcome Dr. Prajapati was here. Dr. Kamlesh Dwivedi ji is here. Dr. Pradeep Prajapati ji is here. I welcome Dr. Kamlesh Kumar Dwivedi ji. He is the dignitary in Ayurveda Parisad, professor and head of the department Kai Chikitsa in Government Ayurvedic PG College. And then I would like to request from Dr. Pradeep Prajapati ji, professor and head National Institute of Ayurveda. I welcome Dr. Kamlesh Kumar Dwivedi ji. Dr. Kamlesh Kumar Dwivedi ji. Pranam. Am I audible to you, Dwivedi ji?
Sir, I am audible.
Hari Om,
But actually,
Hari Om,
I am in
Hari Om.
train.
Hari Om.
So it is little bit problem in the connection.
You are in train?
So for today's
Thank you for your support from mobile also. Really. आपकी आवाज कट रही है दुबे जी। जय हो, जय हो। आप ट्रेन में हैं? आप आवाज आ नहीं पा रही है। जय हो आपकी। धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जोड़ने के लिए। मैं आदरणीय प्रदीप प्रजापति जी से आग्रह करता हूं।
थैंक यू डॉक्टर पवन, थैंक यू। हरिओम हरिओम
हरिओम।
बहुत अच्छा लगा, टॉपिक बहुत अच्छा था। थोड़ा लेट हो गए हम सुनने में, लेकिन क्या है कि पिछले 2 साल से हम लगे हुए थे इसके एनजीओ के रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए। बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स क्लियर हुए हमको, और द्विवेदी सर इस समय वास्तव में कहीं मूवमेंट में है लग रहा है। वो जनरली हमारे साथ तेज चलने वाले आदमी है, बड़ा मुश्किल होता है पकड़ना हमको। तो कहीं रास्ते में होंगे, इस वजह से आवाज नहीं आ रही है। कुछ बिल्कुल पॉइंट तो बहुत क्लियर बताए सभी लोगों ने। कोशिश करेंगे कि इन पॉइंट्स को ध्यान में रखते हुए आगे के लिए रजिस्ट्रेशन करें। टॉपिक बहुत अच्छा था आज के लिए, क्योंकि करंट जनरेशन के लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। दो अभी देख रहे थे कि ये हमें लगता है कि थोड़ा सा अक्सर इसको और एक बार रिपीट करना पड़ेगा आपको। और जो मैडम ने बोला कि जो उसके सेकेंड पार्ट है उसी के साथ कम्युनिकेट करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हमें लग रहा है कि सभी को नौकरी नहीं मिल सकती, और सभी लोग जो है प्रॉफिट के लिए भी काम नहीं करते। सब लोग करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन कहाँ से शुरू करें, कैसे शुरू करें, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट हो जाते हैं। और इसमें बहुत कुछ इनपुट्स दिए हैं मैडम ने और सर ने, तीनों लोगों ने। एनपी सिंह जी ने तो जो है, क्या बात है, कभी कभी होता है कि क्या झील है, देखिए एयरपोर्ट पे है, और उन्होंने बहुत बढ़िया लगा सुन के। तो ये बहुत अच्छा रहा हम सभी के लिए, और कोशिश करेंगे कि हम जल्दी से जल्दी अब 1 या 2 महीने में हम एक एनजीओ लेके आ रहे हैं। तो ये हम एग्जाम्पल सेट करेंगे हम आपके सामने, क्योंकि वो जरूरत है, समय की जरूरत है।
बहुत अच्छा, जल्दी शुरू कीजिए। हम लोग भी आपके साथ हैं। हम लोग भी आपके साथ हैं प्रजापति जी।
हाँ, हमें मालूम है, सब लोग साथ में ही है। थैंक यू
जी, थैंक यू।
सर जर्नी ट्रेन में ही है, देखिए लिख के आ गया उनका।
हाँ, ट्रेन में है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। Now I would like to request Dr. Neelakshi Dev Chaudhary ji. Dr. Neelakshi ji, are you here at present? Dr. Neelakshi Dev Chaudhary ji, am I audible to you? I hope I am not audible to you. Now, platform is, yes. Please, yes, you are audible, madam.
Yeah. So will you kindly repeat what you were saying? You wanted me to?
Yes. What about today's webinar?
Oh, today's webinar was really very interesting, and we had very important speakers who spoke how to open an NGO. And it is very important for us, for all the beginners, to know the importance and what problems we face or how we can plan in advance. And we got to learn from very enlightened speakers who shared their experiences. And it was indeed a very interesting webinar. And I thank the speakers, and I thank you, sir, for specially organizing this. And it will really help us all in entire Assam. For any new doctor or for any person who wants to open an NGO, people are not aware. So it was really interesting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Neelakshi ji. Dr. Neelakshi Dev Chaudhary ji is from Assam. Thank you for joining us. And I would like to communicate next 4 days program before giving this stage again to Dr. Jayesh Thakkar for open session. Tomorrow, is Kitchen Hospital. Again, we will be inviting Dr. Reeta ji. So, Kitchen Hospital, all three lady speakers will guide that don't go to chemist. First, go to your kitchen. On Sunday, expert speaker from AYUSH, AYUSH 11 speaker from AYUSH will guide us for COVID third wave. Third wave for COVID. Dr. Yunus Munshi ji will guide director of head of research institute here. So he will also guide us day after tomorrow. And Dr. Raj Gopalan, managing director of Siddha, JRK Siddha, he will also guide us against COVID third wave on Sunday. On Monday, 24th, Girl Child Day is there. So how to care from Ayush to a girl child, that will be our subject. And on expert speaker on the topic will guide us there. On 25th, World Tourism Day is there. So health tourism on Ayush will be conducting on their Vishnu Priya ji from Goa, Ahmedabad, with Tapan Kumar, Sakat Vasu, Canada. So they are blessing us on the occasion. On 26th, we have a gala webinar of Desh Bhakti, patriotic songs, poems, Chanikaye, Muktak, everything. We have invited poets, we have invited singers, we have invited creative writers, Ved Prakash Vyas, Ram Tirth Sharma, Ranjan Vishad, and so many. Yamdut ji live will be with you on that day, 26th. So please join on that day also. And then on 27th, Scope and Practice in Mauritius. Dr. Ish Sharma, Honorable Chair of the Professor Dr. Ish Sharma from Mauritius, along with his two colleagues, definitely they will bless us. These are the 5 days, 6 days program. Please join us. It is like a TV channel, Shastriya TV channel. आप रोज देखते हैं एक एपिसोड, इसका भी एक एपिसोड 2 घंटे का होता है. कृपा कर अपने समय से अपनी पसंद के टॉपिक पर जरूर ज्वाइन हुआ कीजिए. बड़ा अच्छा लगता है ये ज्ञान की गंगा. मैं अपने आप को रियली बेस्ट स्टूडेंट समझता हूँ, गॉड्स ब्लेसिंग समझता हूँ अपने ऊपर, कि मैंने जो आयुर्वेद में 5 साल और 3 साल 8 साल में नहीं पढ़ा था, वो मैंने इस 2 साल में पढ़ लिया. और मुझे इतने टीचरों ने पढ़ाया, मैं गुरु दत्तात्रेय बन गया. दत्तात्रेय जी के 24 गुरु थे. मेरे 240, 280, 90 तो वेबिनार हो चुकी, हर एक में 4 गुरु. आप समझ लो मेरे कितने गुरु. जय हो, जय गुरुदेव. गुरु ब्रह्मा, गुरु विष्णु, गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा. गुरु मैं क्या गुरु की तारीफ करूं, लेकिन वाकई में मुझे आयुर्वेद ही नहीं, आयुर्वेद से एलाइड साइंसेस, सूक्ष्म आयुर्वेद, स्पोर्ट्स थेरेपी, लेप्रोसी थेरेपी. हाँ, लेप्रोसी पे 30 तारीख को कर रहे हैं, उसमें लेप्रोसी के एक्सपर्ट बोलेंगे. तो मैं आप लोगों से आशा करता हूं कि ऐसे ही प्यार और आशीर्वाद बनाए रखेंगे और जुड़ते रहेंगे. थोड़ा कम समय को ही जुड़े, अच्छे टॉपिक पे ही जुड़े, लेकिन जुड़े जरूर. बस मेरी इतनी सी आशा है. मैं जयेश ठक्कर जी को आमंत्रित करता हूं ओपन सेशन के लिए. यदि नहीं है तो मैं आदरणीय वीके अग्निहोत्री जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा. डॉक्टर वीके अग्निहोत्री जी, प्रोफेसर वीके अग्निहोत्री जी. वीके अग्निहोत्री जी कहाँ गए? जयेश जी.
हाँ सर.
प्लीज इनवाइट फॉर
प्रोफेसर अग्निहोत्री सर. आई थिंक सर डिस्कनेक्ट हुए. The session is now open for discussion. Any of our delegates, if would like to share their opinion or have any question for our speaker, the session is now open. Questions are also welcome.
यस जी, एक मेरा क्वेश्चन है.
हाँ सर, वेलकम सर.
मिशन, विजन और एम्स हमने बना लिया, आखिर बाद में भी हम इसको चेंज कर सकते हैं क्या, रजिस्ट्रेशन हो जाने के बाद भी?
Any of our
क्या
speaker
सर?
would like to
क्या सर?
answer?
मैं बोलूंगा
हाँ,
क्या बोले
मिशन और
प्रजापति
विजन
जी?
मिशन विजन और एम्स हमारे बन जाते हैं ऑलरेडी पहले से, और
आप
उसको बना
हर महीना चेंज कर सकते हैं।
अच्छा, good.
हर मीटिंग में चेंज कर सकते हैं। दैट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ अपडेटेशन। आपको करना केवल इतना होगा कि जो अगले साल आप जमा करेंगे रजिस्ट्रार को, उसमें आप ये पूरा का पूरा जो नया विजन होगा वो सबमिट करें। और उसका बस एक केवल रिजोल्यूशन लिख के रख लेना पड़ेगा। हम सब मेंबर मिले थे, कोरम पूरा हुआ था, रिजोल्यूशन हमने ये लिया, आप अगले दिन चाहें तो चेंज कर सकते
बॉडी करके। हाँ, ठीक।
रजिस्ट्रार को वो सूचना केवल एक मेल डाल देंगे तो अभी ठीक है, अदरवाइज वो अगले साल सूचना जाएगी रजिस्ट्रार।
हाँ, with the signature of those members also.
Yes. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Sir, I have a query.
Yes.
Sir, in this NGO, can we keep members, government employee members as advisors or as members? Should all the members be non-government, or can we keep government members?
No. Here no government is in picture. Anyone can be member. Anyone can be member because he is member by his personal entity. He is not member with his department or his government service. Because if it was there was no cooperative society for housing. For housing society, all officers are getting together and making one society first. Then they apply for the land.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So everybody can be member, but he will not highlight his government service there because he has personal entity, their ID card, their PAN card, it is required, NCV.
Okay. Thank you,
Then
sir.
the financial liability should be disclosed, na?
No, financial liability कुछ नहीं है। आपको दिखाना पड़ेगा, भला ही पूरा पैसा आप अपनी जेब से खर्च करो जैसे मैंने किया, लेकिन आपको दिखाना पड़ेगा कि आपने सब मेंबरों से बराबर वो लेके और एक बैंक अकाउंट खुलवाया। यदि 10,000 बैंक में डाल रहे हो, आपके 10 मेंबर हैं, तो आपको दिखाना ये पड़ेगा कि 10 मेंबरों ने 1,000 रुपया हमको दिया और हम लोगों ने मिलित रूप में ये जमा किया, भले ही आप किसी से एक पैसा ना लो।
जी।
वो दिखाना जरूर पड़ेगा।
एनजीओ में एक चीज है, दिस इज द कलेक्टिव थिंग, नॉट द इंडिविजुअल थिंग। आप इंडिविजुअली कर रहे और सब पापेट है, तब भी आपको दिखाना है दे आर ऑल्सो एक्टिव, दे हैव कंट्रीब्यूटेड। ये
यस। और जनरली एक सोसाइटी में प्रजापति जी यही होता है कि 2 या 3 आदमी मैक्सिमम एक्टिव होते हैं, अदरवाइज उसकी चेतना एक ही आदमी होता है।
जी।
जो भी होता है वो एक ही है। जैसे आप खोलेंगे तो आप देखेंगे कि सब भार पूरी दुनिया का आपके कंधों पे है। आप नाम भले ही दूसरों का दिखाते रहिए, लेकिन एक काम करने वाला 1-2 ही होगा।
थैंक यू। वो तो मैक्सिमम देखा है हमने।
जी, ये बिल्कुल सही बात। ऐसा नहीं होता तो मैं सुबह 3 बजे से उठ के डिजाइन नहीं बनाता।
Good.
Any more question, please? हाँ, एक क्वेश्चन आया है माजिद हुसैन साहब की, डॉक्टर माजिद हुसैन साहब की तरफ से। मैन ऑब्जेक्टिव, अब मैन ऑब्जेक्टिव इसमें सभी तरह के हैं, मोहसिन साहब ने बहुत क्लियर किया पहले, लेकिन मैन ऑब्जेक्टिव सोशल वेलफेयर। आप किसी वुमन को एम्पावर करना चाहते हैं तो वो भी ऑब्जेक्टिव हो सकता है। आप रिसर्च करना चाहते हैं, आप सर्वे करना चाहते हैं, आप हालत सुधारना चाहते हैं, आप किसी को कुछ देना चाहते हैं, किसी को डोनेट करना चाहते हैं, डोनेशन लेके डोनेशन देना जो रॉबिन हुड का काम था वो सोशल वेलफेयर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन करती हैं। सोशल वेलफेयर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आर रॉबिन हुड। मैं बड़ी साफ भाषा में कहूं कि वो बड़े लोगों से पैसा लेके और छोटों का, गरीबों का एम्पावरमेंट करती हैं, सबको एक साथ करती हैं। यूनिटी में लाती हैं, एकता करती हैं, एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे जोड़ती है, यही सोशल वेलफेयर का काम। समाज यदि हमारा एक साथ होके और हम लोगों के काम में जुट जाए, कल आप बच्चों की शिक्षा का ले लीजिए, कई लोगों ने पद्मश्री पाई है बच्चों, फुटपाथी बच्चों को शिक्षा देके, फुटपाथी बच्चों को शिक्षा दी, उन्होंने अपना एम बना लिया। किसी ने अपना एम बना लिया कि नहीं मैं पानी की व्यवस्था करूंगा, तो इसमें कोई क्लियर नहीं। आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव ऐसा क्लियर होना चाहिए। हाँ, फिर भी कॉमर्शियल हिसाब से थोड़ा बता दूं कि आप इसमें डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ सोशल वेलफेयर सोशल जस्टिस की साइड में जाइए, उसमें बहुत सारी स्कीम्स हैं, उसमें से कोई एक चुन लीजिए, उसी के हिसाब के ऑब्जेक्टिव बना लीजिए, आपको वहां से ग्रांट इन एड भी मिल जाएगी 3 साल बाद। तो किसी का कोई एक फोकस करके, ऐसा नहीं कि हम सब कुछ करेंगे, नहीं, हाँ, लेकिन फिर भी आप कुछ भी करें, आपके एम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव में बहुत बातें ऐसी होनी चाहिए जो आप आज नहीं कर रहे, हो सकता है आप कल करें, 2 साल बाद करें, लेकिन आप करें वो, उसमें मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन में डाल लीजिए। ये मेरी सलाह है। एनी मोर क्वेश्चन प्लीज? मैं आज के संक्षिप्त वैलिडिटरी भाषण के लिए आदरणीय मोहसिन, बहुत सभी स्पीकर्स का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं। और मैं जगदीश्वर जी, हमारे गार्जियन तेलंगाना से मौजूद हैं, मैं उनसे सोशल वेलफेयर पे एक आशीर्वाद चाहता हूं। आदरणीय जगदीश्वर जी।
हाँ दादा जी, नमस्कार। सबको मेरा विनम्र प्रणाम।
प्रणाम सर, प्रणाम सर।
As far as society is concerned, the association of some members will form an organization. But every organization, whichever it may be, today is little bit facing some critic or the other. The opinion and the aims and objects of the organization may be so high valued, but sometimes there is some comment from any corner of the society out of their vested interest. That's why forming an organization for the welfare of the society, as far as the welfare is concerned, when it starts gaining the popularity, then the arrows of criticism will be ready to. In spite of that also, at the same time, we are seeing that so many organizations, one on spiritual side and another on social side. In spiritual side also, there are much viability in survival. But when the question of money is concerned, especially money is concerned, then there starts criticism. For that, and mostly today's organizations, if they are classified in these two, spiritual or social, class, in those organizations, the only thing is that whether support is there or not. But the thing is this, if it, as long as it survives, gains popularity, and there will not be any headache. The moment it gets popularity, then the criticism starts. For this only we have to see the question of morality. If we say that the question of morality, then so many things are there which are much strengthened by the power of ruling. And the only thing is this, the power of ruling always will have such an impact. If any semblance goes against of their whim and fancy, there they have to face hardships. Because I myself visualized for the last 50 years. I have not formed an organization, but I have associated with an organization which is spiritual and social both. For that only, I think that what a kind of forming an organization in view of the welfare of the people and totally meant for the survival of healthy society. Even if your comment is strictly to the mark of the prevailing illness of the society or degeneration of the society, they are not in a position to tolerate. For example, for a while, as long as my Gurudeva did not speak anything about the social matter of leadership, there was no criticism, nothing. The eyes were not reddened. But the moment on giving the particularity of the society, who should be the leader of a society, he termed Sadvipra. He termed Sadvipra. What does Sadvipra means? He explained also, clearly he explained also. A person, he should be a Kshatriya, he should be a Vipra, should be a Vaishya, and he should be a Shudra. In addition to that, he should be a spiritual moralist. When he just termed the thing of the society and its leadership and the representation, then the power started reddening. What a matter of spiritual guru is concerned to comment on the matter of society. That means the spiritual guru should not be a person who should comment on the society. Because the survival of the society of today, how many morals and how many things are maintained, we clearly are seeing and knowing. In this matter, is there any differentiation? Even in, when I gave that he should be a Kshatriya, he should be a Vaishya, he should be a Vipra, he should be a Shudra, like this, these are not the caste, not the creed. He should be a Kshatriya means he should be a physically fit person. It does not mean that a Minister of Defense will be a person who is inactive, who cannot get up and sit down. But he is a person of Minister of Defense. A person of finance ministry who is not well versed with the finance of the country or the
Yes, sir.
something like that,
Yes, sir.
when these things are commented, we can see if he's not physically fit and always he expects some expenditure for his survival only, goes on at the cost of the burden of the people, but he's minister of this state or country like that. For all these things, if a finance minister is there, he should have the sense of development only, not bankruptcy of the country or the finance. And at the same time, in terms of a representation of any section of the people, they should have perfectly the service minded only, not the seva. Does not mean that seva, if it is in terms of expectation, then he himself termed that it is not seva, but it is a business. Seva means only one side, giving service only, not for expectation. Even is strictly warned that today you contribute to any organization or anything with the good motive. If you expect that tomorrow my name should be there, then your contribution becomes waste, because you had a desire in your mind that I should get name and fame by contributing something, and there should be few lines either in the paper or media and all these things. That is not called seva. He said strictly in Sanskrit. Like that, when he started giving details of a Sadvipra, then and here itself, the criticism started, and much more was there, much more than even than the theory, social theory cannot sleep. Once he has given widely about social theory, and the social theory, what he has, how he has mentioned and everything, there was a lot of challenge also. But even till to this date, I say that that cannot be challenged. His proud theory cannot be challenged. Likely, you people, as long as you are silent going, no power on this earth will disturb you. The moment if you speak about the society or the representation or the something, I need not touch, I touch also about political power, then you will be taken to task. That should not be the mentality of the country as world or at large, because whether it is social, meant or self-interested, only you should think about it. You should see,
Very right,
you should
sir.
observe. You should observe. Likely.
So kindly communicate thanks to speakers also, sir.
At the same time. Likely, what I'm thinking, few minutes Pawanji had given to me, if I put in front of you, I think that I have clarified my thinking in a right perspective. With all these, the moment I heard today is the NGO, of course, in what way NGOs should survive. Let me hear, but by the formalities, actually, they not be biased, and whatever the law is framed in the country should be followed very strictly. And all have given good description and explained about the sections and the viability. I appreciate you all, but I at the same time be alert about the consequences we face. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to communicate my thanks, sincere thanks to all speakers, all dignitaries of the dais, Dr. Jayesh Thakkar for moderation, Dr. Prajapati ji, Dr. Jagdishwar ji, Dr. Mohsin Dehlvi ji, Dr. Reeta ji, Dr. NP Singh ji. Really, I am grateful to all, really. Without your valuable guidance, cooperation, contribution, this journey could not happen. Please, please bless us always. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hari Om. Good night.